Well, good evening, and welcome to the third episode of my blog. And well, guess what? I'm sure you've already noticed. We have theme music. Haha. Yes, it's quite delightful, isn't it? I'm rather pleased. Well, anyway, I'd just like to tell you. Oh, I'm decided also. I felt I was a bit tattered last time, I felt it wasn't quite, wasn't quite public worthy. So, I've donned it, I'm more regular dress, casual, nothing formal. Needless to say, well, I've had a delightful weekend. I went to a wonderful tea party with some friends, and it was really quite smashing. You see, my friends, they're going to this festival. It's called Burning Man. It involves them going out into the wilderness and bonding with people and things. But, needless to say, they had a party before they're leaving, and they had a tea party, precisely. So I dressed up in my regalia, and I went to this party, and I had a good time. Had some tea, chatted, and it was a good time had by all. Unfortunately, one of the people was a little afraid, and so she decided to end the party early, and we moved to a different house, and it was a bit of a drama thing. But I didn't really know these people that well, so it didn't bother me so much. It's like, okay, I'm being thrown out. It happens. A little bit uncivilized, but well, what are you going to do? So, well, let's see. What else happened today? I saw a rather abysmal little movie. It was called Miami Vice. Now, it seemed like the thing to do after a nice day, after a good evening of drunken binging, to go and watch a bad movie. I mean, really, you're hungover. What else are you going to do? Well, it wasn't even really good enough to be bad. Like, I was a bit disappointed. The best thing about it was that it was very cheaply made, and it had no digital special effects. Now, I haven't ranted about this, but frankly, there's nothing I detest more than movies that try to make themselves feel a little better by throwing on some fancy digital effects. If you're gonna make a bad action movie, do it without the special effects. Really, like, who needs them? For example, well, the Star Wars most recent trilogy comes to mind, but that's not the only one. You see a rampant use of digital effects in all sorts of lower budget films. As I recall, the Fastest Furious movie, at least one or two of them, maybe the third one as well, also behaved in this way. They feel like they somehow need to augment a bad production with bad special effects, which is fine, but at least give us a little bit of reality. Like, don't make them a digitally bad special effects. I mean, how bad is that? It's much worse. Give us the old-fashioned special effects that are just rather mediocre. Anyway, let's see. What else? Oh, we've been chatting about... So I don't recommend the movie at all. But I would recommend an excellent movie by Peter Jackson called Dead Alive. This isn't a movie in which special effects were used wholly to excellent product. It's one of these spoof horror movies. It's rather violent. In fact, it's probably one of the most violent movies I've ever watched. And let me tell you, if you like that sort of thing, comes highly rated. I would check Netflix. Has such great and grueling scenes as the prior after burying a zombie. The zombie comes back to fight, and he starts busting out with the kung fu, and then he goes, "I kick ass for the Lord." So it has little subtleties. Like, Peter Jackson really is a genius. Yes, lately he seems to be making his movies a little bit longer than the average attention span of the most, the populace, and myself included. But besides for that, I have to say, like, the man knows how to direct. Unlike whatever slot maker made this most recent film. So, with that note, I think I shall let you be and continue about my business.